Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 34th edition of the Sploro Cascade Funding InfoDays series. If you're a researcher, entrepreneur, startup, SME, or innovation organization working on clean technologies, hydrogen mobility, or smart rural innovation, you're absolutely in the right place. Before we dive in, a quick introduction, since you'll see quite a lot of me in these sessions. I'm Ana Mina, Communications and Community Manager at Sploro. I run these info days every month, so I hope to become a familiar face. My contact is on screen, so don't hesitate to reach after the session. Now, for those of you joining for the first time, a very quick word about who Sploro is, because we're a bit more than just the people running the info days. And Sploro is an innovation consultancy. We help startups, SMEs, researchers, and organizations access and manage EU funding, from finding the right opportunity to delivering the project successfully. We work across three main areas: innovation consultancy, by helping organizations navigate R&D funding. Second, Cascade funding management, by running open calls on behalf of EU funding consortia. So as you can see on the screen, that is our Cascade Funding Hub webpage, where we have new open calls each week. And third, technology. And this is actually where things have gotten quite interesting lately. So let me take a moment to tell you about what we've been building. Anyone who manages or has managed a new project knows that the admin side can be relentless. The timesheets, the financial reports, compliance checks, audit preparation, it all takes away from the work that actually matters. That's why we built Cronis, a project management software designed specifically for EU-funded projects. The first product, it's a Cronis Financial, as you can see on the screen, and it handles compliance and reporting. So automated timesheets linked to budgets, real-time error checks before submission, and a single audit-ready document repository. So if your team is still running EU project finances through spreadsheets and shared folders, it's worth a look. And we haven't stopped there, because we've recently expanded the Cronis ecosystem with two new products, and both are directly relevant to the work you're doing. So as you can see on the screen, we have Cronis PMO, which is our operational layer for EU project delivery, where Cronis Financial handles the money, PMO handles the execution, by coordinating tasks, deliverables, and partners across our entire consortium in one place. It gives you automatic project setup from your grant agreement, a shared activity board, and a full timeline view across all partners. So if you've ever tried to keep 10 partners aligned over email and a spreadsheet, you know exactly why we built this. And then there's something especially relevant for everyone in this room today, which is the Cascade Funding Matcher. The Cascade Funding Matcher is our AI-powered search tool, which analyzes your organization's profile and matches it against all active Cascade funding open calls. And it returns a ranked list with compatibility scores, eligibility explanations, and strategic recommendations, all exportable as an Excel report. So you create a profile, run the match, and in under 2 minutes, you know which calls are worth your time. You can even paste your website URL and let the AI generate your profile automatically. We recently shipped 2 upgrades worth mentioning for the matcher. Now it also tracks forthcoming calls. We currently have 43 right now. So you can see what's coming before it opens and start preparing early. And we've sharpened the matching engine by blending AI with machine learning for more precise eligibility checks and advice that's specific to your case, not instead of generic advice. you have one search for you to try it for free. So if after this session you want to explore what other calls might fit your organization beyond the ones that we're presenting today, that's where to start. Which brings us nicely to today's agenda. However, before we get right on with it, a quick note on questions. Please use the Q&A box at any time during the presentation. I will be moderating throughout and will address questions live after each speaker. Without further ado, let's get started with today's topic. Today, we'll be taking a look at two Horizon Europe open calls supporting clean technologies, smart rural innovation, and hydrogen mobility. To guide us through them, we're joined by two fantastic speakers. The first project, Smart Era, with its second open call for followers micropilots. To present Smart Era, I'd like to welcome Yolanda Moreno. Yolanda is a project manager at Funding Box with over 5 years of experience managing Cascade funding projects across areas such as AI, robotics, energy, agritech, smart cities, and the next generation internet. Before joining Funding Box, she managed innovation projects at the Spanish National Research Council. The Smart Era Open Call supports micropilot projects that replicate its methodology to address socio-economic and environmental challenges in rural regions. The deadline for the open call is the 15th of September. And with this, I will stop sharing if I can. And Yolanda, whenever you're ready.
Thanks a lot, Anna. Let me share my screen. Can you see it now?
Yeah, it looks perfect.
Perfect, thank you. So thanks a lot for introduction. As said, I'm Yolanda Moreno. I'm a project manager at Funding Box, and I'm also the open call manager in the Smart Era project. Smart Era is an Horizon Europe funded project that aims to transform rural regions into a smart village. So in other words, like intelligent, resilient, and sustainable rural communities. The project has a budget of nearly 7 million, and one of these €1 million is dedicated to the financial support to third parties with 2 open calls. The first one was launched a year ago, and now the support program is going on. The project is structured around 6 pilot regions in Italy, Spain, Finland, Bosnia, Slovenia, and Croatia, and Bulgaria. And in these pilot regions, innovation packages are being co-created and implemented together with the local communities. What is a smart innovation packages? Because if you are interested in this open call, this is like the main thing you need to know. We use this term, a smart innovation package, to indicate the set of integrated enablers that work in synergy to provide a solution to a rural innovation challenge. Enablers may be technological and non-technological solutions like social innovations, business, and sustainability models, including governance policies. The concept can be well illustrated by a simple example. If, for example, a remote territory faces mobility changes, one possible solution could be the creation of a flexible mobility system where a digital application is used to manage bookings and routes for an on-demand bus service. However, this single digital ingredient is not sufficient to establish a durable service, so we will need to include other enablers. For example, community engagement to ensure future acceptability on adoption of the service, a data dashboard that allow to understand where the service is most useful and monitor delivery, and a new type of governance model that promotes the co-delivery of services in collaboration between the public administration and private actors. If you want to learn more about these smart innovation packages, my recommendation is go to our application site where you can find the recording of a webinar that was dedicated to this, and everything is explained by one of the researchers of the project, so everything is really clear, and you have access to tools, deliverables from the project, and everything that explains all this system and the process. And now with this open call, what Smartira aims is to transfer the project results, methodology, and the validation of the strategies to 4 new follower regions and engage new local communities to prove the replicability and the potential of the Smartira approach and solutions. What's first? If you are interested in this open call, please, first of all, go and check the guide for applicants. This document outlines all the rules for participation in the second open call, including the eligibility criteria, grant amount, timelines, submission rules, and how the evaluation process will be conducted. And then what will you find in this guide for applicants? For example, what type of activities can be funded through this second open call? The activities that qualify for financial support here is the replication of the Smartira methodology, designing a new SIP, a new smart innovation packages. So what you should do, you should identify the main gaps and needs for rural innovation in the rural region, and then you should deploy an innovation solution to foster smart development in the region. At the end of the support program that will last 1 year, you will have the design of a smart innovation package and the development and test, and you will have developed and test a technological solution that will be like the central ingredient of the smart innovation package. And who can participate in this second open call? We accept 2 kinds of applicants, consortia and individual applicants. We have to say consortia is recommended because the applicant should be a community activator, that is any kind of entity that could be local public administration, university, non-governmental organizations, or associations with strong ties to the local community in one of the following regions. And the other member of the consortia should be one pilot orchestrator, that is an SME or technical provider responsible for the technical execution and deploying of the technical solution. So, and here we have the participation of this technology provider is compulsory. So if you apply as an individual applicant, you should be a technology provider that can also act as a community activator. And the amount of the grant is less because the maximum grant that Smartira can give to a beneficiary is 60K. So in the case of individual applicants, you have only 60K of grant. In the case of consortia, you will have 60K for the pilot orchestrator and 30K for the community activator. And also, well, the eligible entity should be legally registered in one of the eligible countries of the Horizon 2020, of the Horizon Europe program. And also, as say, the applicants must operate in rural regions belonging to one of the 4 European macro-regional strategies, but not in the Smart Era pilot regions. As we are looking for follower regions, the region tested cannot be in one of the regions that already are working with the project. Also, in the guide for applicants and in the application site, you have the links to the Europe macro-regional strategies with maps, detailed maps where you can see the regions that are eligible to apply to this open call. And what are we offering to the participants? As said before, the total maximum funding for one follower micropilot depends on the application format. If applying as a consortium, the total will be 90,000 euros. And if applying as individual, the maximum is 60,000 euros. Each team selected will join this 12 months support program that is divided in 3 stages. And during the support program, we'll have the support from the Smart Tira partners, both technicals and researchers in social innovation, and that will help them in the development of this ship. Also in the guide for applicants, you will find the ground rules for applicants that are the very general for this kind of open call. Like, it's very important that the application, all the information should be in English, that you complete the application form, that you submit ahead of time. We cannot accept any submission after the deadline. And of course that you accept the open call rules. It's also important to know for you that in this open call, multiple submissions are not allowed. And how to apply? Well, you can go to the link that you have in this QR code, and that is in the presentation that I think you will receive after the webinar. You should go to the second open call for follower micropilots, and in this application site, in the right side, you will find a lot of resources, information about the open call. You have here the link to the guide for applicants. That is important to check before starting, and then you can click the start application button and you will have access to the application form. The application form, in the left side, you will see all the sections, and in the right side, the questions you need to answer. The questions that are marked with red start are mandatory, so do not forget to fill all of them. At the end, you will have a summary of the application form, and you will see if any question is missing. And after the deadline, the selection process will start. It's designed to be as fair for all the applicants as possible. So we are starting with a fair check that is done against the legal information and declaration of honor that you do in the application form. Then we will have a pre-scoring if we receive more than 60 applications. The pre-scoring is done against the criteria that you will find in the guide for applicants. And then the 60 best score applications, or the 15 per microregion, will be evaluated by the independent experts. That every application will be evaluated by 3 experts, using the criteria that you will also find in the guide for applicants. And then a ranking will be created with the scores from the experts. After this evaluation and with the ranking, the 3 best ranked proposals per macro region will be invited to a pitching day where they will have the chance to present their solutions to the Smart Era Selection Committee. And from here, we will select 1 proposal per macro region. After this, as usual in this kind of open calls, we will have the formal check and then proceed to the subgrant agreement signature with the Smart Era consortium. If you are one of the beneficiaries, then you will go through this 12-month support program that will be divided in 3 stages. One onboarding stage, when the individual mentoring plan for each of the beneficiaries will be defined and created. Then a mobilization stage, where the work of the community activator will be more important, and where a report on community engagement will be created, and the ingredients of the SIP will be well defined. And then for the last 7 months of the program, the technical solution will be developed and tested in the pilot region. And I think that is all from my side. There you have again the link to apply. Also in the application side, you have the link to the help desk, where you can send all the questions you have regarding the open call. And yes, I think that's all from my side.
Thank you very much, Yolanda. That was a great presentation. And on to the questions. Laura asks, can applicants focus on just one rural challenge, such as tourism or healthcare, or are projects expected to address multiple areas?
No, of course, you need to address one challenge you find in this area. It's like the example I presented about the mobility app. If in an area you have this problem about mobility, you can focus in this challenge, and you can say, okay, so we need this mobility app that links users with the bus service or the taxi service or whatever, and also other ingredients, social or political, that are related to this challenge, not other necessities of the community.
Mm-hmm. Next, Pierre asks, how much flexibility do applicants have when adapting the methodology to local needs?
All the flexibility, because we need to focus on the local needs of the region, of course.
Okay, and Nikos asks, how will evaluators assess whether a proposed smart innovation package successfully replicates the smart era methodology?
Well, the evaluators are going to be experts in the field, and the criteria is perfectly explained in the guide for applicants. I don't know how to answer how they are going to exactly evaluate, but you can see all the steps to follow the methodology. You have in the application site access to the deliverables from the project about this, so you will see there all the methodology well explained.
Wonderful. I think that is all. So once again, thank you very much, Yolanda, for your
Thanks
presentation.
to you, Anna, and to the participants. Thank you.
And let's go on to the second project, which is IH-MIE, Open Call. And to walk us through this opportunity, we have Patricia Solaconde. Patricia is head of European projects at CEAGA, where she leads the organization's participation in EU-funded initiatives. With over 20 years of experience supporting the automotive sector, she represents CEAGA in the Horizon Europe IH-MIE project, where CEAGA is one of the 19 partner organizations. IH-MIE Open Call supports SME-led projects developing and scaling innovative hydrogen mobility solutions, helping technologies advance from TRL 6 to TRL 9. The deadline is the 25th of September. And Patricia, over to you.
Thank you very much, Anna. I'm not sure my screen. Can you see it?
Sorry. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
It's perfect.
Okay. Okay, so thank you for the introduction. As Anna mentioned, I work for FEAGA, that is the Galician Automotive and Mobility Cluster. And we are here to talk to you about the IMIE project and our innovation open call. Okay, so what is IMIE? IMIE is a European initiative that is co-funded under the I3 instrument, and our main objective is to accelerate hydrogen adoption, foster innovation, and strengthen a clean mobility ecosystem in Europe. Okay, the project, in the project we are 19 beneficiary partners, coordinated by CTAG, that is the Galician Automotive Technological Center, and we also have 3 associated entities. We represent 10 European regions, and these regions are of different level of development. As you can see on the screen, we have less developed regions, but also transition regions and advanced regions. Well, here you can see the consortium partners. And regarding activities, just to give you a general idea, the project is structured around 3 main lines of action. We have 7 use cases. We have in the consortium 7 pioneering SMEs, okay, as partners, and they will develop pilot projects. And these hydrogen solutions will be validated in real operating environments, okay? Then apart from the use cases, we have Cascade funding. That is an open call for innovation projects that are led by SMEs. We will look at later on more information about this open call. And then we will foster interregional collaboration. Okay, we have a community, we will organize joint events and activities, and the main objective is to foster partnership and also facilitate the knowledge exchange. Here you have the 7 pioneer use cases. The title of the projects are on the right, but I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I just wanted to show you this slide because there is something important, that is that these pioneering use cases are focused on 6 challenges, okay, that are full cell cost and durability, refueling infrastructure, supply chain and logistics, integration with other mobility solutions, onboard hydrogen storage, and hydrogen distribution. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the open call. Okay, our open call, the main objective is support innovation projects from European SMEs, and these projects must strengthen the hydrogen mobility value chain. Okay, these projects must start at least on a TRL 6 level and demonstrate during the implementation an increased pathway until pre-commercial stage. These applications must address one of these 6 challenges that I previously mentioned, that you can also see here again in this slide. And the main idea is that the pioneering use cases and these beneficiary SMEs will implement their projects in parallel. So at the end of their implementation, the consortium will facilitate the contacts among all these SMEs. So in case of interest, they can exploit or analyze possibility of collaboration. And in the framework of this open call, we will support up to 30 European SMEs. What we offer, what are the main benefits for those companies applying to our open call? Well, first of all, we have funding. We have 1.8 million euros of total budget in this open call, and but we also offer some complementary services to these SMEs, which are international cooperation, that is the access to the innovation ecosystems that are represented in our 10 European regions. We also offer SMEs investment assessment. That means We assess the SME maturity, their funding needs, and the market readiness. And also, we offer support related with the funding strategy, providing them or identifying public and private financing opportunities. And we also offer the SMEs business and technical coaching and also training activities. So who can apply? Eligible candidates are small and medium-sized enterprises. For this definition, we consider the European Union recommendation that you can see there on the screen. And there is a tool, a European Commission tool, that enables you to check if you are really an SME, okay? And you can apply. These are SMEs must be headquartered in a European Union member state or a European Economic Activity country. And another important thing that I will explain later more in detail is that if these SMEs are located in less developed regions, they will have a greater score in the evaluation process, okay? So we want to give priority to these less developed regions in our open call, okay? There you can see also a link, so you can check what kind of region is the place you are located, okay? And another important thing is that you can involve in your project other kind of entities, such as universities, research and technological organizations, public administrations, or even large companies, but these entities are not eligible to receive the funding. Just SMEs can receive money, okay? Well, here you can see the general conditions of the open calls. You can apply with an individual project, but you also can apply in a team of SMEs. And the maximum number of SMEs that are allowed in the open call are 3 SMEs. Another important thing is that the project must start in a tier L6 level. This is the minimum. It can be a greater level, of course. And only one proposal per applicant is allowed. Then regarding funding conditions, as I mentioned before, we have 1.8 million euros of total budget, but the companies could receive up to 60K euros. This is per SME. In the case of 3 SMEs, they will receive 180K, that's 60 per SME. And the funding rate is 100%. And on the right, you can see which costs are eligible. You can put in your proposal or in your application personal cost, so contracting up to a maximum of 30%. You can also include travel and subsistence cost. And here we recommend to allocate some budget to participate in an important event that is the European Hydrogen Week, because we have identified this event as very interesting, and it's possible that the IMIE project to have presence on there to give visibility to the funded projects. So if you can allocate some budget there. Other goods, works, and services to put consumables and external services, equipment on a depreciation basis, and also indirect cost, that is 7% of direct cost. And another important thing is that this subgrant is on a lump sum condition. That means that the payment will be subject to the fulfillment of the work plan and to the verification that you reach the milestones, okay? So the only thing you have to do is to send the information, the relevant information about your project that proves that you have carried out what you plan to do, okay? And there you can see the payment schedule is divided in 3 payments, 40% as a pre-financing rate. Then you have an interim payment of 25%, and the remaining money will be at the end of the project. Okay, here you have the timeline of the open call. The open call was launched at the beginning of July, and the application period will be open until the 25th of September. When we reach this deadline, we will start the evaluation phase. This means first to check the eligibility of the proposals. Then the eligible proposals will be shared with independent experts that will evaluate these proposals. When they have a ranking of those best score proposals, these proposals will go to a jury day that is gathered by consortium partners. The main idea is to review these proposals, and you will have to do like a kind of pitch to explain your project. And then we will notify the results, and there will be also an appeal window in case you don't agree with the result. The contract phase will be in December until the 18th. And the main idea is that the projects will be implemented in a period of 12 months from January to December 2027. Okay. Regarding evaluation criteria, the experts will consider like 3 main categories of criteria or areas of analysis that are excellence, quality, and impact. And there on the right, you can see all the criteria that will be considered, and the points or the scores, that the maximum scores that you can receive on each of them. And a very important thing is that I mentioned before is that those projects that have less developed regions involved, okay, and this means that it can be an individual project, or it can be in a consortium if you have more than one SME. It means that if you have more than 50% are SMEs from less developed regions, you will obtain 10 points. And this is, this is to give priority to these regions. And the total score is 100 points, but we have a bonus, an additional 2 points that will be allocated if your project idea is published on B2Match. We have like a community, and if you publish your project idea, just for registering there, you will be allocated these 2 points. Okay, so how to apply? The process is very simple, and it is electronic. It must be in English, and it must be carried out in the Submit platform. You have there the link and the QR code if you want to access to it. And the main idea is to fill in the application form and also attach a summary PDF that will be the pitch, that in case of being selected as one of the most or the best core proposals, you will do this presentation in front of the jury. Okay, and this is the community that I mentioned before. To foster interregional collaboration, we have this place where you can publish your project idea. The main idea is try to find partners for your projects, but it doesn't matter if you are lucky to find this partner or not. Just for having your idea there, you will receive these 2 points in the evaluation stage. Okay, so we recommend to do this. And okay, in case you have any questions, you have the option to send a message in the Submit platform, in the application platform. Okay, you also contact any of the partners in the consortium, or there is also a general email for the project that is info@imie.eu. So very glad to answer your questions or to give you some help on that. Okay, thank you very much. That's all from my side.
Thank you, Patricia. A wonderful presentation as always.
Thank you, Anna.
And on to the questions. Peter asks, can SMEs with limited experience in hydrogen projects still be competitive in this call?
Well, the thing is that the hydrogen area, for example, in a region in Galicia, is not too much developed. It's there is a long way until we have this business improved. So the thing is that in the case, but don't think that you cannot apply. My recommendation is register on Bit2Match platform, because maybe in the case of a technological company or whatever, maybe you have a service, I don't know, a company that offers sensors or whatever that can be joined to another project with another company that is more engaged in the hydrogen area, but maybe your technology can join to this project. So so the answer is yes, you can apply to this open call. But if you haven't been involved in this kind of projects, maybe you can offer some kind of service or complement to other companies that have already started the path.
Thank you, Patricia.
You're welcome.
Lucas asks, are incremental improvements to existing technologies eligible, or is the call mainly looking for breakthrough innovations?
Yes, I think you can include improvements to existing solutions. The main idea is that, in fact, you must start with a project on TRL6. So the main idea is to help you to do this validation in real environments. So some work needs to be started in this development. So yes, I think it's possible to include improvements to existing technologies. But also at the evaluation stage, the evaluators will look at these innovations, how innovative are they in comparison with the existing things in the market. So
Thank you. Anke asks, I am representing a RIA on hydrogen storage for transportation in its ending stage, reaching a final TRL of 5. How critical is TRL 6 for application? Is TRL 5 also eligible to apply?
I'm afraid not. The minimum requires TRL 6. So because this is established in the guide for applicants. So if you are in now TRL 5, you couldn't apply to our open call. Sorry about that.
And finally, Andreas asks, if the project encounters technical challenges during implementation, how much flexibility is there to adjust the work plan?
Well, the main idea is that we don't leave the projects alone. I mean, the main idea is that beneficiaries during these 12 months, 12 months of implementation, there will be like a kind of follow-up with the consortium. So we try to monitor these projects and to help them in case there are any problems. I mean, if you have any problem, you should contact your the partner that will be allocated to you and try to find solutions. I mean, don't wait until the end of the project to solve that, and talk with your contact partner.
Okay, and I think that is all for the questions. So thank you, Patricia. And with that, we've reached the end of this session. So again, thank you so much to both Yolanda and Patricia. And thank you all for joining this 34th edition of the Sploro Cascade Funding InfoDays, dedicated to clean and smart innovation. We hope today's session has provided clear insights into how these opportunities can support your work and help scale innovative, sustainable solutions across Europe. Before you go, as always, subscribe to our newsletter if you want to stay on top of open calls. We upload them we have new ones every week. Follow Sploro on LinkedIn for funding news, new tools, and upcoming info days. And if you want to explore more calls right now, as I said, try the Cascade Funding Matcher for free. And thank you for joining again, and we look forward to seeing you at the next session. So take care, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.